Hey guys, it's Justin from Simplified Investing. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Here is our weekly watch list video. Before I get started, if you guys enjoy this content, if you could subscribe to the channel, it would mean the world to us. With that being said, let's break down QQQ from top down, and then we'll go into three individual names that I think have a lot of potential here this week. From QQQ perspective, and this was mentioned last week, is it looked like this right here was setting up a potential higher low, and then I said after this bullish engulfing, we could expect to see a long setup here over this weekly bar's high. We got just that. We confirmed the higher high by breaking this pivot right here. And now it looks like we're trying to make this run up near these all-time highs here on QQQ. So from the daily chart, looking good. The only area per se that I would look to short this on the weekly chart is if we're below 469.39, which is this weekly bar low, where then we could sell into 453.41. However, as long as we're holding above that and we're outside of this range here, I do think we have some room to the upside here, that when you're looking at it from a daily chart perspective, is we make a run on these highs right here. So we make technically a higher high, which would make this a higher low off of this bottom right here. And then when we come down, now we're trying to hold here. And as long as we're over 482.61 on Monday, I think we can see a bullish bar scenario that trades up into like 488.26. So the bar would look similar to this. As long as we hold 482.61, then we have longs on the table here on Monday, where I think, again, as mentioned, 488.26. And really, a fill up into this area around 491.16 are going to be the main watches here. And again, not seeing much for shorts unless we are below this area. So then you can see shorts below this region right here. So for I also wanted to go into a shorter term time frame too. When we're looking at this 15-minute, it looks like we're, yes, short term trying to flip this downtrend. However, into the close, we made a new higher high here, which made this the higher low off of this potential higher low here, and then we confirmed over here. So 482.61 is going to be the line in the sand for me. If we can get that to hold, I do think we have a lot of potential to the upside here this week. The first name here is going to be AMD, and this really all starts from a weekly chart perspective all the way down. So this is a variation of a 1, 2, 3 bar play, and the second bar is just a bar of consolidation, so this bar right here, for then that bullish bar to get that breakout move here, and then we would really confirm this structure after breaking this high right here on the weekly, which would be a new higher high. Going in to the daily chart, the main watch I have is if this gets over 159.14, this is going to be a textbook setup here on this multi-week base, where then we can get that breakout targeting 164.55. So on Monday, if we can get that hold and come down and actually get strength and open above, I think it puts us on the table for 164.55 and then 169.80 above. So utilizing that for this long setup here, that then would trade up into this region up here. And really not interested if this is below 152.33, then the setup is invalidated. So 159.14 is going to be the area to watch here this week. And when we zoom in on a shorter time frame perspective, you can see we are also in an uptrend here. The next one, same sector, but it also has a 3-bar play setting up on this. Now, you could technically look at this saying, okay, this is failing technically this region right here, and we're rejecting. Yes, from the daily chart that is true, but let's go and take a look at the weekly. The weekly is setting up a picture-perfect 3-bar play. So longs on anything over this weekly bar high at 119.53 put us on the table for a move that could look like this week, which is into 128.81. Now, I know that Microsoft has been lagging behind in terms of holding up its relative strength it's had to the market. You can see this is resting while the market's trying to make a run on highs, and the S&P has made new highs. However, This one, I feel like this 3-bar play definitely has potential. 119.53 is the key, and when you look at that from a daily chart perspective, it's just a break back over this bar here. On Monday, if we can get an open over 117.35 and wash out and hold, I'm going to be looking to play that bounce up into 119.53. And if we get that trend over 119.53, then target up into 121.28 and then 123.08 above. Very solid setup. If we do get that break and get that test up here, then that would mean this would be a higher low once we break this structure right here for then that trend continue move to the upside. So keep this on watch. 117.35 for the back through open setup, and then if we get that strength over 119.53 for either the retest or if we open above that back through open, trading that washout and then that continuation through the open. And then the last one here, really surprised. I thought this one would have a little bit more strength behind it, but what I like here is this failed breakdown. As you guys saw in last week's watch list, I was like, this looks really good on this failed breakdown on Tesla's weekly chart. Well, we got exactly that, where we got that follow through where I was mentioning, okay, if this should have slammed lower, and then we traded this inside bar, and then we get this nice follow through here last week. Now for an actionable setup here, mainly if we got a 244.22 breakout, this would be picture perfect. And when you look at this structure, look at what we just did. And this was a trade that we took within the group, was this 234.56 breakout, where it was a prior support, turn rejection, turn rejection, turn rejection. And when you get multiple tests like this, eventually this thing is going to explode through. This is a multi-week base that started all the way back in July, where we gapped through, tried to fill, and rejected multiple times. So this is like a 10 out of 10 level right here. And now we're trying to either, one, we're going to come down and bounce off of this and hold that support, which I'm fine with playing. But the main one is this 3-bar play entry over 244.22. And really, if we open 241.49 and get that back through open, it has potential. But I think we have potential up into 255.98 on this, and then 260.50. So the risk to reward is there if this does want to set up. I would, A+ setup would be over 244.22, and if we opened above that on Monday. However, if we can open at either of these two areas right here, I am more than fine with taking this long for that upside move. With it being so strong, I think it is a possibility we come up into 260.50. You can see we are putting in this uptrend here on the daily. We're trying to make this continuation move and make that run up on these highs here. With that being said, that is the end of this watch list. I hope you guys found value in this. If you did, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any watches or anything that you want broken down, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you guys so much.